Hey you guys, thank you for joining me. My name is Jenna. If you're new, welcome to my channel, Queen of Diamonds. If you're returning, welcome back and thank you for continuing to tune in. Today I am here with my weekly WIP and Chat. It is Friday night, so I'm a day later than I like to be on recording this WIP and Chat, but better late than never is what I say. This week has just been weird. Anyway, we'll talk more about that when we get into the WIP and Chat. For those of you who might be new to diamond painting, WIP, WIP stands for work in progress, and chat means we're just going to chat and catch up. Today I am working on a diamond painting, but feel free to work on whatever craft you'd like. It doesn't have to be a diamond painting. You can also use this as a podcast as you're running around doing housework, whatever you might be working on. I'm just happy to have you here. I'm working on a diamond painting from Munimade, and this diamond painting is so cute. It's called Pet Games, and I have this cute little frame here that a friend of mine made for me, Rebecca. I will link her Facebook in the description box of the video so that you can check out her new products. She's just starting to sell resin trays, resin trinket pots like these, resin trinket trays. I'm so all over the place, you guys, but I have my coffee here. This is a trinket tray. I was gonna show you one that she made. This is a trinket tray. And this is a really cute little Halloween one. She made this. Isn't that cute? She's just starting to sell these, so check out her Facebook. Now, you won't see very many. I do believe she has posted some of her trinket trays. The guinea pigs are saying hi. I do believe she has posted pictures of some of her trays, but you can ask her to make a tray of whatever you'd like. This cute Halloween one is so adorable. Oh my gosh, I love it. That is one of them, and then I also have this mermaid coaster because she also makes coasters. This has a matching trinket tray also, but those are a couple of her products. And then this is a trinket jar from her shop. Isn't that cute? And you can use these however you'd like. Sometimes I put multi-placers in them. I use them for trash drills. You can use them however you'd like. But those are a couple of Rebecca's products. But this is so cute. So this is the original artwork in a picture, and I've got it on this cute little stand that she made. I love it. This little easel frame. This, let me show you, is Pet Games from Munimade. It's this cute, if I can get my camera to focus. It's this cute picture of a cat and a dog is slumped on the couch. I did not even notice that there's another dog over here slumped on the floor. Isn't that cute? And there's a board game right here. I just love how cute this whole homey little scene is. I think it's so cute. I'm gonna put that back in my little frame and put that here. So that's the diamond painting project I'm working on. Before I get into all of the accessories, and then I'll change your angle so you can see the section we're working on, I wanted to show you something. My mom bought me the best little snack, and I just finished it. I've got to get some more. This is from Costco, and I don't know how many of you have a Costco, or if you're familiar with Costco. It's this Kirkland brand. This is a sweet heat snack mix, and I'm not trying to like put a dropout about Costco, but these are so good. They're all these nuts with all these different flavors. Oh my gosh, I love this, and I just finished the bag, so I need to get some more of those. They're so good. Anyway, I wanted to share with you my little snack that I was eating for tonight's WIP and Chat, but I just finished it. And then I have my coffee, which is so great. All right, let me show you all of the accessories and then we'll get started. Before we do that though, sorry, I wanted to show you the section of this art that we'll be working on. Maybe I'll wait and show you when I change your angle because I think you'll be able to see it a little bit better because my camera's not focusing on that very well. All right, let me put my glasses on. Okay, I've got some really cute, I need to clean my glasses off. Sorry. Okay, I've got some really cute little accessories to share with you. A few of these, actually just one of them, I just unboxed in my small shop haul. Well, it was today, but by the time you're seeing this, it will be yesterday. So I'll show you that. But okay, this is my WIP kit from Black Dahlia Diamond Art. Isn't that cute? And it has my name on it. It's personalized. I love these WIP kits. These are a product that Shell just started recently carrying in her shop. Well, it's been a few months now, but I love my WIP kit. It holds everything. So I've got my WIP kit. The putty that I'm using in my multi-placer, speaking of Black Dahlia diamond art, is also from Black Dahlia. Now this diamond painting is the diamond painting that I'm using for an event called Home is Where the Heart Is, which is hosted by Sabrina from Bee's Crafty Corner. So the whole theme of this event is what makes you feel at home. So this diamond painting really makes me feel at home because it's got the cats and, well, a cat and dogs, and I have cats and dogs. I also have guinea pigs, which you'll hear squeaking in the background. This diamond painting doesn't have guinea pigs on it, but the point of me choosing this canvas for Home is Where the Heart is I feel at home where my pets are. So that's kind of why I chose that. But the putty that I'm using on my multi-placer kind of goes along with the theme because this is the Snickerdoodle scent, which is from the 2024 Cyber Sale from Black Dahlia Diamond Art. And Snickerdoodle kind of gives me that homey vibe because it's a cookie. And I was raised with my mom making cookies for us. And then the wax I'm using in my single placer tip of my pen is from Dream Wax Studio, and this is Vanilla Cream. Look how cute this wax is. I have to show you. It's in an ice cream cone. And I do believe the ice cream cones are now available on Dream Wax Studio, if that's something you're interested in. Isn't that cute? It smells amazing. Goes really well with the Snickerdoodle scent. So that is the wax I'm using in my single placer, and I'll show you how I load all that up when I change your angle. The washi tape I'm using is from Simply Gilded, and it's just this really pretty blue with stars and sparkles on it. So that's my washi tape. I love Simply Gilded. My tray is from Art de Nicole, and it is the tray for Home is Where the Heart Is. It's that really pretty tray. And then, oh my gosh, speaking of Bella Art and the event, my Trinket tray for this particular diamond painting is also from Bella Art, and it is also themed for Home is Where the Heart Is. That is my Trinket tray. Isn't that pretty? And it has all of these copper flecks in it. It's very beautiful. I know you can see the glare. I'm trying to make it so you don't see the glare, but it's a really nice Trinket tray. So that is the Trinket tray that I'm using. And my tweezers are from Diamond Art Club, the angled pink tweezers. And my pen, I just unboxed this pen. This was sent to me from Lathe Customs by Design, and it was turned by Stacy Travis. So this is the pen I'm using with this kit. Isn't that pretty? It's got these really pretty bling rings around the center, and then at this tip, we've got these round drills, or at least they look like round drills. I think it's so pretty, and it really matches the colors of this kit. One of my cover minders is a cover minder. This was one of the first cover minders I got when I started my channel. I started experimenting with small shops, and I found this shop called DP Cover Minders Plus, the cutest cover minders. This one is a cat with a ball of yarn. Isn't that cute? And this has a cat in it, so that goes with that. And then I also have this cute Yorkie cover minder because my dog's a Yorkie. This is from Gina's Unique Boutique, and it's that cute little Yorkie. The release paper I'm using, I have two different release papers for this kit. I'm alternating between the two. I have Floral Kittens, which this is from Bee's Crafty Corner, and this is cut on glossy thick in 4x4 sections. And then this one is called Yorkie's number 1, and it is on glossy thick, also in 4x4 sections. I got it upside down. There we go. It's cute, right? And both of them have all these flowers around them. I think that's so cute. So those are my two release papers. And then, is that everything? I think I've covered everything, right? Yes. Okay. So those are all of my accessories. The drills that I have, the way that I have these drills stored for this kit, I'm all over the place, you guys. It is on one of these really large one of these really large sections from my big art dog kit, and it shares a flat with A Savior is Born over on this side. So over here we have the Munimade kit, Pet Games. So that's kind of how I have that set up. All right, let me tell you a few stats about this diamond painting. It is by Shari Borba or Shari Borba. I'm not really sure if I'm pronouncing that right. And it is a 50 by 50 centimeter, or in inches, that's 19.7 by 19.7. And it has 75 colors. It's a colorful, cute scenery. I love it. And it's a square drill kit. I don't think I said that. Okay, and on this diamond painting, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 glimmer or shimmer drills, and then we have 3 AB drills. So there is a total of 10 specialty drills on this kit. It's so cute. So I'm going to change your angle so that we'll be facing down on the section that I'm going to be doing, and then I'll show you where we're at on this diamond painting so that you can see, because my diamond painting is clamped down on my light board and you can't really see it very well. So I'm going to change your angle and we'll get started. This is the section that we'll be working on for tonight's WIP and Chat. I have my camera set up a little differently, my tripod and everything, so I'm hoping that I can do this okay. And I just bumped the camera, so I'm going to try really hard to not bump the tripod anymore. All right, first of all, I'm going to select a multi-placer. These multi-placers are all from Diamond Art Club, and this is just what I keep them in. I'm going to go ahead and just pick this one. I think this is a 6-placer. So that's the size of multi-placer I'm going to use for this kit. And this is my first time using this pen. So I'm going to bring my Trinket tray over here so that I can use this for loading up the putty and the wax, because it's a hard surface. And then I'm not using my light board. I don't know, I just don't like to use my light board to load my putty. All right, so this is what happens with a custom pen. Most of the time, the pens that you get, and I've explained this before, but for those of you who are watching for the first time, most of the time when you get a custom pen, your multi-placer will not fit snugly in the pen. So what you have to do is make it fit a little more snugly so that it's not falling out when you're diamond painting, because you don't want it falling out. That would be crazy. And I'm going to use the washi tape method to do this. So I just take a little strip of washi tape and wrap it around the base of this multi-placer, because what I'm trying to do is make that a little bit wider so that it will fit more snugly into my pen. And you don't have to wrap it perfectly. I'm kind of doing a crap job right now, but I'm going to try that and see if that's enough washi to keep it in there really snug. And then I'm just going to press that in there, and yeah, that's good. That's nice and snug so that my multi-placer is not wiggly. But this pen is so pretty. Okay, and then I'm going to load my putty first into the multi-placer. So I take this putty from Black Dahlia Diamond Art. It smells so good. And I'm going to load it into my multi-placer. I'm going to press down like I'm cutting cookies with a cookie cutter. And I just kind of wiggle it to try to cut that putty off the sides. And then I'm going to give it a second go, because what you're trying to do is fill up this well. Get my camera to focus. You're trying to fill up that well with putty. And then you also want to have enough putty at the top that it's actually going to last and pick up your drills. So in this case, what I'm going to do is just flip this excess over onto the side that I'm using, flip the excess over onto the multi-placer. And then I'm going to press down to get that flat surface on the top of my multi-placer. I'm just going to try to cut that the best that I can. And then if you can't get it to cut, you can just use your fingernail to scrape the sides like this. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with my camera, but it's not really focusing very well. Okay, so now we've got the pen loaded up, or the multi-placer loaded up with the putty. I press it in there real good. I hope that's enough. I think it feels like that's enough. I might give it another go, because this putty's kind of thinned out for some reason, the pad of putty. Not the putty itself, the texture is really good. It's just the pad here is a little bit thin. Okay, now I'm going to cut the sides again and clean up the edges so that it's nice and clean and there's no excess putty sticking out on the sides. Okay. And then I'm gonna slide this back into the pouch here and seal it back up. And then we're gonna put wax in the single placer tip. So I'm going to pull this wax out, and we're just gonna scrape gently with the single placer against the wax to get that wax loaded in there. And then I'm gonna press it down and kind of rotate the single placer onto the wax like that to get that loaded in there really good. And then I'm gonna press it on my fingernail. You can press it against the Trinket tray if you'd like, any hard surface to get that wax to really get pressed in there so that you're not leaving a residue against your drills when you press down the first few drills. That smells so good. I really love Dream Wax Studio. Okay, I'm gonna put that away and we're ready to rock and roll. Okay, then I'm going to peel back this release paper, and this is the section we're working on. So on the original artwork, I feel like it's so dark because this is a different setup than I'm used to. On the original artwork, here is the picture of the original artwork. We're right here in this area with the leg of the couch and the cat's back. We're actually gonna do the very edge of the bow right there. Isn't that cute? Now you can get a better look at it. But it's so funny to me that I didn't even realize there was another dog over here. I did not even see that till I was diamond painting. I was diamond painting and I'm like, what is this brown mass over here? It's the other dog. It's so weird. Weird, Jenna. Okay, we're ready to go. And the Trinket jar that I'm using for tonight's WIP and Chat is from Wendy K's Designs. And this is just a little Trinket jar that came with one of my orders. And it's already got some drills in there. So those are just some little trash drills. All right, we're ready. I just need to rearrange my Trinket tray a little bit better. And then I'm going to get my tray. It's just been a weird week this week. Okay. We're ready to go. This is so odd doing it this angle, but we're gonna make it work. The first symbol I'm going to be using will be down here in the bottom right-hand corner, and it looks like it's a 0 with a slash through it. So let me find that drill. I need to reacquaint myself with this kit because I haven't had it out all week. So this is the color we're gonna be using, that first symbol. And I have my light pad on. Hopefully you can see okay. I'm just gonna dump my drills in and give it a little shake. This is the cutest artwork. I just think it is so cute. I'm gonna give it a little tap to get those drills nice and straight. Now you can see there's a little fleck right there. I'm gonna go ahead and get that little fleck of resin out. And then there are some drills that are just not lining up. So I'm going to toss those also. Let's take care of that so that it's not in my way as I'm going along diamond painting. See, those drills are stuck together right there. Just gonna throw those in here. And then I think the rest look pretty good. There's another one that has a little tab on the side. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know if you can see that. My lighting is just not great from this angle, but like I said, we're just gonna go for it. And then here's another drill that has a little weird thing on the top of it. I think that's this is the one that has a tab on it. I just like to get rid of the trash drills before I start because then they're out of the way. All right, got that taken care of. And we're ready to go. How are you guys all doing? I hope you're doing really well. It has been the weirdest week. I've just been in a funk today because my whole week has just been kind of screwy, but I think we all have weeks like that from time to time. I think it's somewhat normal to have a week like that. Please tell me it's normal. I hope it is. I don't know. Life, right? I mean, sometimes things just go a little crazy. I think for all of us, it can be like that. My dad is home, so that is one very good thing that happened this week. He came home on Tuesday, and he's getting back into the habit of being home, which is nice. And it's so great to have him home. It's a little bit of an adjustment for him to be back home, simply because he needs to have the strength, you know, to do his day-to-day activities at home without a physical therapist there to be right at his beck and call to help him. But he's doing really good. He's actually been doing very well. My mom is super happy to have him home. So that's good. And my aunt is feeling a lot better. She spent most of the week just kind of out of it. But yesterday and today, she's been so much better. And my mom and I agree that we think having my dad back has been really good for my aunt. She just seems to be a little bit less out of it than she was while he was away. And I think, you know, here's the thing. I think it's like a kid, right? Kids sense any kind of difference in their day-to-day activities. And my aunt is very close with my dad. And when he's home, they spend a lot of time together hanging out. And while he was gone, I think it just really upset her energy level. I know that sounds crazy, but I really do believe that that's what was happening with her. But she's doing a lot better now. And like I said, we're all just so happy to have him back. It feels good to have him back at home. My mom's doing well. I think that she's been a little bit stressed out having, you know, not having my dad back, because it's definitely easier having him home than when he was at rehab. But it is a change, you know, and it's been a little over a month since my dad was first admitted into the hospital. So it's taking a little bit of adjustment, you know, but she is so glad to have him home. And it's really cute because the first night that he was back, my parents were in watching TV together. My dad got a new recliner, which he loves, and he got a new bed. He's very happy about both of those things that my mom got while he was away. But oh my gosh, it's chilly in my house. The air just kicked on, which I don't know why, because it's not the warmest night ever. But anyway, it was cute because they were both hanging out watching TV in the room together, and it was so nice to see them hanging out together. But yeah, so that's good. That's been one really good thing that went on during the week. And then let's see, Kennedy's doing really good. Kennedy and Joel are both feeling better. We have scheduled tentatively. When I say tentatively, I'm crossing my fingers that we actually are able to pull it off. But we are going to be recording Joel's first experience diamond painting tomorrow. I'm so excited. So that'll be fun. I will probably put that up right away because I'm really anxious to get that to share with you guys, because I think that'll be fun. So we're going to do it tomorrow night, and it'll probably be uploaded and posted for you to see on Sunday, if everything goes well. So we're hoping it will. I think that I think it'll be fun. I told Kennedy, I'm kind of joking about this, but kind of not. I said, prepare to have your life changed when Joel starts diamond painting, because that's all you guys are going to do going forward. And she goes, okay, Mom, keep dreaming. So, anyway, yeah, a girl can dream. But that'll be fun. I'm really very curious to see what his take is on diamond painting, because for one, he's a male, and for two, he's just never done it before. So it'll be fun. I know there are guys who are into diamond painting. I'm not saying that they're not, but I've just never experienced firsthand a guy being into diamond painting. So it'll be good. And then let's see. There's Fallon barking. Fallon's doing really good. Speaking of him, that was his way of saying, hey, are you going to talk about me? He's doing better. I think that he's starting to feel a little better. Knock on wood, right? But for those of you who didn't see last week's WIP and Chat, he was definitely having some symptoms of having a stone in his bladder, and he's had those before. So I changed his diet quickly to the food that they gave me last time he had the bladder stone, and he seems to be doing very well. I feel like he's wanting to go out a little bit less than he was. I mean, it was becoming like every 45 minutes, and now he's doing a little better. I mean, I think we're still going out like every hour. Before he started showing symptoms of a bladder stone, he could go 2 hours easy without being taken out. But it does seem like he's doing a little bit better. There's something going on here with this drill that I'm not liking. So anytime I see something that I don't like about the way a drill is sitting, I just take a look at it and make sure that it's not a trashy drill. But that one, I don't know why, must be the angle I'm at. So that's all good. My other girls, so Allie is recovering from her wisdom teeth. She's actually doing really well. She's gone back to work, and yesterday she started being able to eat normal food again because she had to be on a liquid diet or a soft food diet for the first while. She's still a little bit sore, and I think that's normal, but she is doing a lot better. And she's starting to kind of wean herself off of the Tylenol and ibuprofen combo that they were having her do because she was alternating between the two, and she's doing better. And then she started her night classes this week, which is crazy. So her whole schedule has been changed. And I don't know if that's what's got me kind of in a funk. I don't know. Because, you know, sometimes when you get in a zone, things change dramatically, like schedule wise, and it just kind of sets you into a funk, or at least it does for me. So I think that's part of the reason I've been feeling a little bit out of my element lately. But she works every day until 6 and then goes to her night classes, and she doesn't get home till 9:30. So it is quite a big change, but she's doing well. I think she's happy to be back into school now because she was on a break for a little while, and then she had her wisdom teeth removed, which also took her away from school for a little bit. But now she's back into the swing of it. Sydney's doing well. She is doing really good in school. She's a little bit overwhelmed. Tonight she expressed feeling overwhelmed working and going to school because this weekend she's working. Tonight she worked. She's off now. And then she has to work tomorrow night. And then she also has to study. So all day Sunday will be study day for her. So she doesn't feel like she has a lot of free time, which is true. I mean, she doesn't. So we'll see how that plays out a little bit longer, but she is starting to express some frustration in not having a lot of free time. But she did have some good news when she got home today. She told us that her crush talked to her and actually knew her name. So, you know, I'm sure he seems to have really good taste. So I'm sure he is, you know, eyeing her, scoping her out. Anyway, so that was cool. Her birthday is Tuesday, and she's going to be 17 years old. Crazy. My youngest is going to be 17. I just can't get over it. I feel like that's so weird. That means she was born 17 years ago. That's my youngest. Oh, crazy. Time just goes by so fast. But I'm hoping that next weekend we have a little bit of free time. At least I'm hoping I have some free time with my girls. They've been spending a lot of time with their dad, which is fine. But I want to watch some scary movies with them. So we'll see. Oh my gosh, I'm just dropping everything tonight. We'll just see how it goes. But yeah, that's cool. I'm doing okay. Like I said, I am picking up lots of drills here. I don't know. I'm just having one of those nights. I'm going to try to adjust the putty here, and I don't know if that's what it is, or if it's just the angle I'm at tonight, or if it's just me. I don't know. It's probably just me. This drill might be weird. Yep. I am also just frustrated with something going on in my life, and I don't want to get into it too much, but I'll tell you what. I may not have a car for temporarily. It looks like I'm going to be giving the Jeep back to my ex-husband, who, sorry, I was not picking up those drills right. So I had mentioned I've been without a car for a while because I had a car and it died. And so, I mean, it died. It died. It was a Mini Cooper. And that is a story that, a big, long story. I went through that it's been over a year since my Mini died. But it was in the spring, my ex-husband offered me a car that he was no longer using. And it's an older car. I can't remember what year it is, but it's a Jeep Grand Cherokee. And it's older. But he had told me when he gave it to me that it was going to need some new brakes, that he had the brake pads for it and he would replace those. And he told me that there was a couple of, it's had an oil leak. And the leak, you have to check the oil every couple weeks to make sure that the oil is not burning out. And then if it's low on oil, you just have to add more. That's what I was told when I took the Jeep. So I've been doing that. I also took it and got an oil change, and I'm looking for this symbol. I'm so discombobulated with this kit because I haven't worked on it for a few, like I said, about a week. So I'm just trying to reacquaint myself with where all the symbols are. But anyway, it has some problems as far as, like the oil leak, and the windshield wiper doesn't work, or the wipers work, but the windshield wiper fluid doesn't come out, which is kind of, inconvenient when I need the windshield wiper fluid when I'm trying to clean my windshield wipers with the... Okay, let's try this again. When I'm trying to clean my windshield with the wipers, it's a problem, right? When it doesn't have fluid. And so that's another thing that has been wrong. And anyway, I took it in a few weeks ago for an oil change, and the people that did the oil change just said, you'll have to keep an eye on the oil level, make sure that it's staying, and I already knew that. And then they said they switched out the tail light because the tail light was, what did I do here? I don't even know what I've done. That's not even the right color. I don't quite know how that happened, but I have all these drills that must have gotten stuck to my pen, which is why you don't want to have putty on the sides of your multiplacer. Okay, so needless to say, it's got some issues. And he was, when he was giving me the Jeep, he said that he would help me with those and that we'd get them taken care of. Well, it came time for emissions, and the Jeep started acting up. And I had mentioned this in a WIP and Chat previously, that it was kind of acting possessed, and all the lights on the dashboard were going off, and it sounded like it was going to die and all this stuff. So I was getting concerned about getting the emissions done because I had a feeling that the car would not pass the emissions. Well, because the engine light is on, they will not pass the emissions, and I already knew that. But in talking to him about getting the emissions done at the end of September, because it was due in September, he had mentioned that he would sign the title over to me, because the title is still in his name, if I would sign off some child support that is owed. And long story short, he had mentioned in the spring when he first gave me the Jeep, if you'll just sign this, I have some insurance credit with the Office of Recovery Services who handles child support, and he said, what I'd like to have done is for you to write off or to get the insurance credit that I should have been getting all along, because it lapsed and he wasn't getting the insurance credit for, I think, 3 or 4 years. Well, I said, when he told me that back in the spring, I said, well, can't you just provide proof to the Office of Recovery Services that you've had insurance on the kids? And he said, yeah, but it's a lot of paperwork and it's a big, long process, and it would save me a lot of time if you would just say that you know that they've had insurance for all that time, and then they'll just wipe it off. And I said, they said they'd do that? And he said, yes. And he had the paper, like a letter all written up. And he said, all you need to do is sign this. And I said, well, I've got to call and make sure I understand what's going on before I sign anything. And he was like, no, you don't need to call. I'm telling you right now what it is. And I said, well, I still need to call and make sure, because this is exactly the situation. When we first got divorced, he brought over some IRS documents and pressured me into signing them without taking a good look at them. He said, I'm on my way to the tax attorney's office right now, and I need to get this done today. And I fell for it and signed it. Well, what ended up happening, because I was naive and didn't look into it before I signed it, is I ended up signing something that put me in debt with the IRS quite a bit. And I was very upset when I found out about that, because it was not even my responsibility and it wasn't part of our divorce. So I really shouldn't have signed that paper. And because it screwed me up with my taxes for many, many years. And anyway, it was just this big, I was so upset. So now I've learned from that experience to make sure I understand things before I go ahead and sign them. So the fact that he was trying to pressure me again, I just said, I'm not signing it right now. I need to look into this a little bit more. Now that was in the spring, so it's been quite a while, and I just have, with my mom's fall and then the summer playing out the way that it played out, it's been one thing after another. And I'm not making excuses, but maybe I kind of am. But I didn't ever call and find out, and he also didn't say anything to me about it, so it was just kind of one of those things that got pushed off in the I didn't get this taken care of category. So anyway, when it came time for the emissions, he said you can't get the emissions done until you have a bill of sale showing that you own the Jeep. And he said, and I'm not going to sign over the title to you until we get this taken care of with the Office of Recovery Services. And I said, well, I've got to call them and find out about that. Well, I didn't say that to him, but that's what I said to myself. So I called, and the caseworker that I talked to said, do not sign that letter. She's like, if you sign that letter, you will regret it, because you're basically signing off. And she said, first of all, we wouldn't accept it. But secondly, if he does take it to, a judge or whatever, then you could be liable for some of that, and you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you are. So I didn't sign it. Well, anyway, that brings us to now. So I'm going to be giving the Jeep back to him, and I've got to find a new car because I have to have a form of transportation. So I'm looking into some cars, but oh my gosh, I do not like the process of buying a car. Once you find a car and you get it, yeah, it's really fun to have a car and everything, but the process of finding a car is crazy. So, that's kind of a frustrating process, but I'm going to be getting a used car. I've got some leads on some cars. A friend of mine sent me a car that might be that is available. And then my mom has also been helping me scout out some cars. So hopefully we'll get that taken care of in a timely manner, because I really do need to have a reliable form of transportation for everyday life, let alone to get to and from work, so that I'm not having to rely on my mom again, which is how it was before I got this Jeep. So anyway, we're doing that. That's a long process, and it's kind of frustrating, but I can't be driving a car that's not registered, and he also canceled the insurance on it, so it also doesn't have insurance, which is a huge ticket here in the state of Utah. So I'm not willing to take that chance and get stuck with a huge ticket. So needless to say, I'm not driving the Jeep anymore, and I'm going to be talking to him about that, which is not going to be, I have a feeling it's not going to be a very pleasant conversation, but it is what it is. I'm not signing it. So anyway, that's the fun part of my life that I've just been feeling a little bit, I don't know, just been in a funk. I think it's just, you know, we've also had some stormy weather here, and it's starting to turn cold. I don't know if that's also contributing to my funk. I'm not really sure, but in any case, I'm hoping that next week I'll start feeling a little bit back to normal. We can hope. But this is really funny that I'm even saying this, but last night I got a wild hair and baked a cake. And I think my kids were in shock that I actually did some baking, because I haven't done anything like that for a long time. I baked a cake and actually made homemade frosting for it too, which turned out really good. I just kind of came up with the recipe for like a buttercream frosting. It was really good. So anyway, I don't know why I'm even telling about that, but I felt quite accomplished that I actually baked for the first time in a long time. Now, I've baked like brownies from a box, or cookies that we've bought the dough already made or whatever. My kids have made some, like they've baked some cookies or whatever, but this is the first time that I alone have baked. It was kind of fun. So anyway, that's that. And you know, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes I just get really down on myself. I don't know if any of you can relate, but I fully intended to record my WIP and Chat last night, but I was just so, I don't know. I just wasn't in a very good mindset last night. I'm taking my sweater off because now it feels really hot in here. But I just was not in a very good mindset last night for some reason, and I just had a lot on my mind. It's stressful for me to be looking for a car again, because especially buying a used car, because I really don't know that much about cars. So I don't want to get in a situation where I'm buying a car that is going to give me a lot of problems, a lot of headaches. So it stresses me out, because I'm definitely looking for something affordable, but at the same time, I get stressed because I don't want to buy something that's going to be giving me a lot of problems. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we'll have good luck finding something suitable that will be a good car for the short term and the long term. You know, I don't want to be messing around with buying a new car again anytime soon. I'd like it to be a car that will last me for a while. So we'll see. But I did find a car today in the used car thing that I'm looking at. I did find a car that is the same make and model as Kennedy's car that she's driving right now, and she loves her car. It's a really good, reliable car. So I'm hoping that something like that, where I know it'll be a good make and model, something, you know, will turn up. But I'm sure it'll be okay. We'll figure it out. It's just an added stress when I don't need the added stress, you know? But that's what life, you know, that's how life is. And I realize that. I mean, I can't be stress-free all the time. Not that anybody is, but yeah. Anyway, I feel like sometimes it's just one thing after another, you know? But that's how life is. Otherwise, let's see, what else is going on? The cats are doing good. They're always doing good. I love our kitties. And the guinea pigs are great. They're so cute. I will be showing their Halloween costumes. I haven't wanted to make them hate me by putting them in their Halloween costumes, but we're going to do that probably the WIP and Chat right before Halloween. Maybe the week before. I'm not sure. But I'm going to wait until we're a little bit closer to Halloween before I put them in their costumes and make them hate me. When we put Kennedy's guinea pigs in the costumes, we used these costumes for her guinea pigs. When we did it, her guinea pigs recovered quickly. They weren't mad at her for too long, so I'm hoping mine won't be either. But it was so comical when we did that with her guinea pigs, because they just got like, they just held so still. It was cute. Let's see. So I wanted to address some things about the channel. I've had some things on my mind about things I want to change in the new year, because we are approaching the end of 2025 and I've been toying with some ideas. So one of the things that I've been kind of thinking about for the last couple months, and one of my viewers, she's very sweet, had mentioned that it gets a little bit repetitive when I'm doing the mid-month WIP parade and the end of month, the month in review. And I feel that too. I have felt that for a couple of months now. And so at the risk of being repetitive, I've been thinking about changing how I do my mid-month WIP parade, in the sense that I'm going to continue doing a mid-month WIP parade, but it's just going to be a little bit different, because I'm thinking about maybe just showing the projects that I'm working on for the month, or the progress that I've made on whatever canvases I've worked on so far for the month. And then in my month in review, I'll show all of my projects, or vice versa. I don't know. It's just something I'm thinking about. I'm also considering doing more of like a flip through of all of my works in progress, instead of going into detail about each one. And maybe I'll just save all of the detail for the month in review, something like that. I'm just considering it. I really enjoy doing the month in review and the mid-month WIP parade. Those are some of my very favorite videos to film. But, you know, I do realize that it gets a little monotonous and a little bit repetitive. So I'm just trying to think of what I want that to look like going into the new year. I'll probably finish 2025 somewhat doing it the same, but I am thinking about, for this month anyway, now that I'm approaching my mid-month WIP parade for this month, I think what I might do is only show in detail the canvases I'm working on, and then I'll do a flip through of all of the rest of my WIPs. But I'm just considering changing up how I do it coming up on the new year, so that it's not repetitive. Now, keep in mind, I'm always trying to look at it as though somebody is watching me for the first time. So there are viewers that have not seen some of the videos that I've done. So for example, they might be watching my mid-month WIP parade, and it might be their first time watching my channel, or the first time watching any of my WIPs. And so that's how I've always been kind of approaching it, is, okay, I want to make sure that I'm showing this for those viewers who might be watching for the first time. But what I might do is just say, if you'd like more detail about this diamond painting, watch for my month in review, something like that. Anyway, please let me know in the comments what you think about that, if you have any particular thoughts one way or the other, because I would like to ultimately try to, you know, I try to take into consideration what my viewers want, because you guys are important to me, and I want my channel to be something that you look forward to watching. So let me know what you think one way or the other. If you think things are just fine and you want me to kind of keep doing the same thing, you know, that's fine. Now the air is on and I'm suddenly freezing. Why is my temperature so out of whack tonight? But I'm going to slip my sweater back on at the risk of freezing during this whole WIP and Chat, and then I might get hot again and take the sweater off. Who knows? The guinea pigs are telling me what they think, I guess. So anyway, I'm just trying to get a feel for what you guys think as my subscribers. I'm also thinking about putting together a membership, and I'd also really love to hear from you about that, what you guys think about maybe doing a different, like a couple of different tiers membership. I just like to get a feel for anyone who might be interested in what your thoughts are about that. I think that'd be kind of fun. I'd love to get to know some of you a little better. I've been interacting with some of you through email, and I love it. I really do. It gives me such joy to get emails and read about. I'm trying to straighten these drills out because I've noticed they're a little bit squampus. Reading about your lives and what's going on in your life. It's really fun for me to get to know you on a different level. Some of that I felt when I did that live for my birthday in July. I felt like I kind of got to know some of you on a different level through that live. So that's another thing that I'm also trying to work out in my mind. But like I said, these are just thoughts that I've started having this past week, and this week has just been kind of crazy. So I'm trying to get my head above water again before I start making too many changes, but it is definitely on my mind, and I think it would be fun. So anyway, give me your thoughts about that too. Maybe it's something you don't really care to participate in, and that's fine. You don't have to participate in it if I end up going that route, but it would be fun to hear if any of you would be interested in that. As far as what's coming up on the channel, oh my gosh, I have so many WIPs, you guys. I feel like I'm getting bogged down with all of my WIPs, and I've never felt this way. I think this month is definitely a record breaker in my WIP amount. So that it might be contributing to my feeling bogged down. But the other thing that's also a constant thing that I'm feeling, wow, I don't know what just happened when I placed those drills down. The other thing that's kind of a constant thing that I'm feeling is I just can't wait to work on all of my WIPs. So it's hard for me to choose which WIP I'm going to work on during what week, because I want to work on all of them. So that's something else that's always kind of on the back of my mind is, well, I'd like to finish up this diamond painting. I really need to finish up this one. Oh, I'm coming up on the year for this one. And you hear me say it all the time in my WIP parades and my month in reviews. I'm always saying, I need to get working on this one. And that's how I feel about all of them. So I'm trying to work through that, but it is, this is supposed to be a relaxing hobby, and I get that. And there's no reason for me to feel stressed out. I mean, it's not like I'm being forced to work on any of my WIPs or anything, and I'm definitely not forced to kit any of them up. That is totally my own doing, and I accept responsibility for that. But I just, it's just, this month is just kind of, I've got this feeling of being a little bit overwhelmed. There's a really big drill there that I'm going to take out. So I'm trying to also, let me get that out of there. I'm also trying to think about, gosh, I'm all over the place. Do you see me dropping drills? And I'm trying to figure out what kits I want to start working on in November and December, and what ones I want to target and try to have completed. I had 2 completed kits in September, and this month so far I don't have any. And I'm hoping to have at least my, what's going on here? What is happening to Jenna tonight? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with me. Here's another weird drill. Pull that out. Okay, let's try this again without picking up a ton of drills. So I've been trying to give some thought about what I want to have, where I want to really target my time. For this month, I'm really hoping to finish up my Halloween kits. That would be great because I don't want to be carrying Halloween into Thanksgiving and Christmas. So I'd like to get my Halloween kits finished this month. I'm hoping to have those done. I have 2 Halloween kits that I'm working on right now. And then this diamond painting that I'm using for the event, Home is Where the Heart Is, I don't have to have a completed kit. I think you get a bonus drawing if you do have a completed kit. I'm not 100% sure about that. But I would sure like to have this one done by the end of the month. It's a smaller size, so it's doable, I feel like, to have a goal to have this one done. But we'll just have to see. Again, it's just one of those things that has to play out a little bit. But it'd be great if I were to finish 3 kits this month, pet games, and my 2 Halloween kits. That would be awesome. But I definitely am really just trying to target those Halloween kits. Now, I've been working on my Halloween kits a lot this week. That's why tonight I decided to pull out pet games and work on that one for a little bit. I might actually work on this for a big chunk of time tomorrow, just to give myself a breather from the Halloween kits. But that's just my, that's just this is how my mind works. This is what I think of constantly, especially when I'm diamond painting. I don't know. Let's see. Some things that I've watched. Oh my gosh. So I was so excited for the new monster documentary series to come out on Netflix. I've been waiting like a year for that. And it finally released. It is the story of Ed Gein back in the 1950s, I want to say. 1950-ish, something like that. And I have not loved it. You guys will have to let me know what you think. Now, the actor that's playing Ed Gein is Charlie Hunnam. Is that how you say his name? He played Jax in Sons of Anarchy, for those of you who are familiar with that series. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. So I was really excited to see him play this dark role, because it is a very dark story. And that's another part of how I'm feeling about it. I realized it was a dark story before I started watching the series, but I don't love it. It's not my favorite. Interesting to know about Ed Gein's history and his life. It was kind of interesting at first to see the time that he lived in and how they were portraying him as a character and all of that. But after one episode, I was kind of like, I don't know. I don't love it. But I kept watching it because sometimes that's how it is. And then you'll get into it and then you start to really like it after an episode or two. I haven't loved it. I'm not a big fan of this, this monster season. I don't love it. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, the Monster series is on Netflix. Hi. Yeah. Why? I can pause it. Come find me when you're done. Okay. I had to pause for a minute so I could talk to my daughter. Anyway, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I think that's what I was explaining was what the Monster series was. It is a series on Netflix that shows different serial killer slash monster, like murder things that happen. So, for example, the first season of the Monster series was the story about Jeffrey Dahmer. And that was really interesting. A lot of really good acting in that. I thought it was very well done. I mean, it's a horrible story, but I thought the acting and the storyline was put together very well. The cast was great. And I learned a lot about Jeffrey Dahmer that I didn't know. So that's kind of what I like about it, is what makes these serial killers turn so bad? And sometimes you don't have an answer to that question. And I understand that, but it's helpful nonetheless to learn a little bit more about them. At least I think so. And then the second season was the Menendez brothers who killed their parents. And that was kind of an interesting saga also, because when it came out last year, they were also coming upon, was it parole? I think they were coming upon their parole time. So that was kind of interesting. And I ended up going back and listening to all of the actual trial recordings from the actual court case. And that was intriguing because there was a lot to the legal aspect that I didn't know. And because that happened back in the 90s, a lot of that, was it the 80s or the 90s? A lot of that, I want to say it was the late 80s or early 90s. Oh my gosh, now I can't remember. But a lot of that was before I was old enough to really understand what had happened. So it was kind of cool to get all the details about that I didn't know because of my age when it occurred. So when I found out that they were doing this story about Ed Gein, I didn't really know who that was. I had to kind of research it. And it's interesting because there's so much that came out of the Ed Gein situation. For example, and they do touch on this in the movie, or in the show, which I thought was really cool that they added this. My daughters watched it and they were like, why are they adding stuff about Alfred Hitchcock? Well, it's because the movie Psycho, which was produced and directed and written by Alfred Hitchcock, was partially off of Ed Gein's story. So that was why they threw in the bit about Alfred Hitchcock. But I didn't realize that. I also didn't realize that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was also an idea that was derived of the life of Ed Gein. So that's kind of cool because I didn't know that either. But the part that I'm at right now, I'm at the very end, and I just have such a hard time finishing it. There's a lot of reference to the war, and I'm not really understanding the full scope of why that's part of it. I mean, I do understand to a degree why it's part of it, but I'm also kind of going, okay, why are we still continuing this reference to World War II? I'm just having a hard time figuring all that out. It's very dark. I have found it very long in parts, but there are some things that I've liked about it, I suppose. I think that he's doing an amazing job. Charlie Hunnam is doing an amazing job playing Ed Gein. I think that he is an amazing actor to play such a dark role. I always have to have a bit of respect for the actors who take on these really dark roles, and they can do it, without, they can do it really well. And that's part of why I'm feeling that way about his acting in this show. But I don't know. The actress who's playing Ed Gein's mom is also fabulous, and she's doing an amazing job in this show. She was in the Roseanne series that was on in the late 80s, early 90s. Is that when it was? The series that had Roseanne Barr in it, and she played Jackie, Roseanne's sister. And I always really liked her. She's been great in every role that I've seen her play. I think she's a really great actress. She's doing amazing in this show playing Ed Gein's mom. Just a really great actress right there. And so that casting has been great. It's just a really dark story, right? Because the actual story is dark. And so they have to, in a sense, have it, have the show itself be darker. I don't know. I've just found it long, but let me know. Feel free to let me know what you think. I've talked to people who love it. So it's just all a matter of opinion, right? Nobody says my opinion is right or wrong. I'm just telling you what my thoughts have been since I've watched it. Let's see. I feel like I watched something else recently. I can't think though of what it was, but I've also started this series of books. So I'm a big audiobook lover. I love audiobooks. And I like psychological thrillers. I like mysteries. That is what I gravitate towards. I have listened to some self-help books. I listened to Let Them by Mel Robbins. I love that one. So I do jump around from genre to genre when it comes to audiobooks, but The one I really love is the genre of mysteries or psychological thrillers. And in doing so, I also love the really long books. I've explained this before. I like the lengthy ones because it gives me a chance to get really in-depth look at the plot and the characters, and I love that. So I like the 10-hour long books or longer. There have been some great ones that I've listened to that haven't been that long, though. I'm not saying that there's not. I just have a tendency to gravitate towards the longer books. And I did start a book called, I referenced it last time I talked about audiobooks. Now I can't think of what happened in Redemption or something like that. That's a really good series. And I actually listened to, I think there are 7 books in that series. I listened to 5 of them, 4 or 5 of them. And then I got at a point where I had to start paying for them because you get so many free audiobooks with your Audible membership. And in that series, I think the first 5 came with my Audible membership, and then you have to start paying for them. So I kind of put it on pause because I'm trying to accumulate, I'm looking for this symbol. I'm trying to accumulate some more credits. But in the meantime, I started looking for some more books that are included with my Audible membership. And I came across these books there are 15 books in the series, and 3 of them you have to buy additional credits for, but all the rest of them, so that leaves 12 that are included in my membership. I am at a loss to where this symbol is. Okay, I found it. So I found this series, and I will put the name and the author in the book, in the screen, because I can't think of either one right now. But the main character is always the same character, the same main role. And his name is John Stride, and he's a detective. And it follows a lot of his cases that he is assigned to as a detective. And I started, actually, before I realized that this was a series, I started with book 3, and I had no idea that it was a series. I listened to the whole book, and I was like, this is really good. I liked the narration, and it was all really, I really enjoyed that whole storyline and everything. Well, after it ended, it was like a 12-hour audiobook. After it ended, I was just like, oh my gosh, I wonder if this author has written any more books because I liked it so much. Well, that's when I found out that there was a whole series and that I was actually starting with book number 3. So I backed up and went to book number 1, and I finished that. I think it was a 13-hour audiobook. And then I got to part 2, or book number 2. Oh my gosh, I love it. So here is the thing. I want to recommend these books, but I also want to caution that there is some sexual reference. So if that is something that is going to bother you, that is something you should be aware of. And then there is also a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Reference to the first book, especially so far. I mean, I have only listened to 2, but the first book especially has a lot of, it's following a case that rape is involved. So if that is something that is triggering for you, just be aware that that is also part of the storyline in the first book anyway. I'm not sure about the second book, but the third book has quite a bit of, I don't want to say quite a bit, but it had a little bit of sexual content. So again, that's something that is up to each individual person. I don't love books that talk about either of those subjects, but I do love the mystery part, and it's very well written. So if that is something that doesn't bother you and you're looking for a good series or a good mystery, check out those books, and I'll put them in the screen because, like I said, I can't remember right off the top of my head who the author is, or The series isn't titled like a series. Like The Town of Redemption is called, I think, What Happened in Redemption. I think that's the name of the series I was referring to from last week. But these don't have a series title. They're all titled something differently, but they are all listed as the same series, and they all have the same detective as the main character. So I'm kind of curious to find out, since I started with book 3, there are some things about this character that are mysterious. They have mysterious undertones to his character. So I'm kind of curious to see how that comes about, and if I can get some answers to that by listening to the first 2. So anyway, that's kind of fun. I just really like to be in suspense, especially while I'm diamond painting. It's fun. So that is what I'm listening to when it comes to audiobooks. I would like to touch on a YouTube video that I saw. I was actually told about this by a friend of mine. There was a creator that put out a YouTube video called Diamond Painting Creators Exposed. Now, when I first heard that that was the title of the video, I thought, oh, I don't want to watch this. This is going to start a lot of drama within the diamond painting community. But I was reluctant, but I went ahead and watched its series, and she's done 2 videos along in this series so far. I wasn't even going to watch it at first because of the title. Now, I'm a diamond painting creator on YouTube. So I thought, well, is she going to be knocking creators, or how is that going to work? And I watched it very skeptically. Is that a word? Skeptically? I watched it with a lot of skepticism. And I want to give a shout out to, the name of the channel is Whitney Diamond Paints. I think that's right. And I'm going to put a link to her channel in the description box of the video, simply because I think that it was very well done. I think she has some opinions that everybody is entitled to their opinions. And who am I to say that someone's opinion is incorrect or invalid? I'm not going to say that. I think she has some very valid opinions that she voices in this video. I watched both the first and the second one. And I just want to give a shout out to her because I think she does it very tastefully and very no nonsense, which I like. I am a no nonsense girl. I want people to be honest with me. I do a lot better when someone is being honest and upfront than if someone's being fake and then turning around and talking about me behind my back. I do not do well with that. But I have to respect the fact that she put together this video. I feel like the title of the video is a little bit, like I said, when I first heard about the video, I was like, oh my gosh. It's not really, I mean, I guess I can see if people want to take offense to things that she says. You can find offense in just about anything if that's what you're looking for. But I didn't find it offensive at all. I thought it was very breathtaking, or very, not breathtaking. I thought it was very, maybe breathtaking is the right word. Get it together. I thought it was very refreshing. That's the word I'm looking for. To watch a creator that is talking very bluntly about her opinions or things that she's noticed about the diamond painting community. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that we need to have some diversity within our community, right? I mean, diversity is good. So I want to give a shout out to Whitney. I don't even know if she's going to watch this, but if she does by chance, or if any of you happen to know Whitney, I think that she did a very good job. And I want to touch on a couple things that she mentions because I think that she had some valid points. I know that I myself do a lot of unboxings. This is one of the things that she talks about in the second episode. Was it the second episode? Now I can't remember. I watched them both today. But one of the things that she touches on is about how there are so many unboxings done and not as many post reviews. And I could see her point. I hope that I'm not like that on my channel. Now, when I started my channel, yes, I was going that route. because as soon as I would get a diamond painting, the first thing I wanted to do is hurry up and unbox it so that, oh, I'm yawning, so that I could hurry and show it to all of you. And since then, I have learned that what I like to do personally, just for me, I can't speak for anybody else, is I like to unbox the diamond painting shortly before I start it. So I usually unbox the diamond paintings the month before I intend to kit them up and start them. That's just the flow I like to have, but not everybody likes to do it that way, and we don't want everybody doing it the same, or what's the point in that? Because you got to have different channels doing it differently. It's more entertaining that way. So I'm not saying my way is right at all. Please don't take it like I'm saying that. But anyway, I do think that seeing a lot of unboxings can be a little bit frustrating because you're not seeing how those diamond paintings look when they're done. Oh, I just got a sudden case of the yawns really bad. But I don't do a lot of post reviews, and here's why. I wanted to explain this for those of you who care. Some of you may not. I don't do a lot of videos titled post reviews because I do my month in reviews and I go into a lot of detail about the canvases in my month in reviews. So I feel like if I did a post review, it would be a little bit redundant. I mean, I'm already doing redundant things with my month in review and my my mid-month WIP parade. But I don't really show my finished canvases in my mid-month WIP parade, but in my month in reviews, I do show my finished canvases and I go into a lot of detail. Now, if it is a new shop that I have never tried before, I try to do a post review, a dedicated video to show what that shop looks like when it's completed, what a diamond painting from that shop will look like. Because at that point, it is a new experience for me to do a diamond painting from that company. And I do like to try to show that in a post review. But as far as companies that I've already done before, no, I don't do a lot of post reviews, like I said, because of that month in review. So that's how I feel about that and how my channel operates. I'm not saying that my way is the right way. I'm just saying that that's what I have a tendency to do. So I wanted to kind of touch on that and just validate that I can see how that is frustrating to see a lot of unboxings and not a lot of completed kits. The other thing that I think is a valid opinion that she talks about is creators who get a lot of free stuff from shops. And I get it. You know, I am one who does a lot of small shop hauls. I have a tendency to do a lot of them. They're not huge hauls, but I love to give our small shops in the community business. Oh. So I do try to do like 1 or 2 of those a month. And the reason I like to do those is it's showing different shops in the community. I try to keep a variety going as far as trying new shops and all of that. But I don't feel like as a creator, I'm getting a lot of free stuff when I get those, at least not free stuff that anybody else would get. Now, there are times that, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for all these yawns. I don't know what is happening all of a sudden, but there are times that it might be a close friend of mine that owns a shop, so she slips in, you know, something here or there, but it's nothing major, I don't feel like. But please let me know how you guys are feeling about that. I don't think that that's something that is too big of a problem community-wide. I do know that that does happen. I'm not saying it doesn't, but hopefully it doesn't happen that often. I hope not anyway. Maybe you guys notice something I don't, but in my experience, I haven't seen that too much. The other thing is affiliate codes. I don't have a lot of affiliate codes. I have a few of them. Like I could count on one hand how many affiliate codes I have. And the affiliate codes I have don't give me any kind of commission or anything. They are strictly for your benefit. Like, for example, with Black Dahlia Diamond Art, the affiliate code I have doesn't give me a commission. I don't get paid from that affiliate code. It does show Shell, who owns Black Dahlia Diamond Art, how much my channel is giving her business. So in that sense, it's helpful. So there are two things that benefit from the affiliate code. You yourselves save money, and then also it shows if my videos are helping her small shop at all. So that's kind of how that works. And obviously, I get the added bonus of saying, if you use my affiliate code, you get to save 10%, which is awesome. I would love to save you guys money anytime I can. I think that's great. So in that regard, it's awesome. But the way that it was kind of coming across, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen, because it does, I'm sure, but not all affiliate codes are commission-based or are giving me free stuff or whatever. That's not really the case, you know, all the way around. But I do think that does happen, like I said. Anyway, these are just some thoughts that I had about that video. Again, I want to give a shout out to Whitney. I think it was very well done, very tastefully done. I don't, like I said, when I read that title and when I first heard about it, I was thinking, oh great, here we go. We're going to have some major drama in the community. But hopefully it's received well by other creators or influencers, because I don't think she meant it in a bad light. At least that's not how I took it. But it did give me some things to think about. So here, when I'm making these changes in 2026, that, you know, some of the things that she mentioned are things that are making me go, you know, I do want to work on this or work on that. You know, I'm always open to feedback. I think feedback is important. And I thought that she did a very good job. I was very intrigued by her videos, and I will definitely be tuning in for some more of her series that she's doing, the Diamond Painting Exposed. I think it's kind of intriguing. So anyway, if you haven't checked it out, you should check it out. Like I said, I don't think that it's anything that is trying to offend any particular person. It just all depends on how you are able to take opinions. Really, basically, that's what she's voicing, is her opinion and things that she has noticed, things that have kind of gotten under her skin. And we all have the right to voice our opinions about things. But anyway, I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. But let's see. What else? I don't know what else I've been watching lately, aside from my normal favorite creators. I love watching different creators with diamond painting and other hobbies as well. I love watching guinea pig videos. Oh my gosh, I love some good guinea pig YouTube videos. I think they're so fun. And there is also some channels out there that I follow about Yorkies. It's really fun to see, you know, watch other people with their animals, and there's something kind of satisfying and relaxing about that. It's fun. Okay, so that is all that's going on with that and kind of my update. Oh, I was going to tell you what's coming up this week. So actually we're ending a week, so it will be coming up in the upcoming week. We've got Joel learning how to diamond paint, which will be on Sunday. And then I don't know what I will have on Monday or Tuesday. Let's see. I want to make sure I'm looking at the right month. Yeah. Monday or Tuesday, I don't know what I'm going to have coming up. Monday is a holiday here in the United States. It's Columbus Day. So I'm hoping I'll have something in the way of content on Monday. We'll just have to see how it goes. And then Tuesday is Sydney's birthday, so I probably won't post anything on Tuesday. And then I will have an unboxing next week. My mid-month WIP parade will go up on Wednesday. Fingers crossed that's the plan right now anyway. And I don't know yet for sure if I'm going to do anything different with this month's mid-month WIP parade. We're just going to play that by ear. I might not. I don't know. But it will go up on Monday. And then I have been giving this some thought. I have kind of a interesting video coming up that I think will be kind of fun. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But that will probably be up next week too. I've got a couple of last minute thoughts to brainstorm about regarding that video. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But hopefully it will be interesting. We'll see. You know. Oh, I also wanted to say about Whitney's video. Sorry, this just popped in my mind. One of the things that Whitney mentioned is when you unbox a new to me shop, how it, you know, it'd be nice to show drills down. Now, I try to do that anytime recently, within the last 6 months. Anytime I try a new to me shop, I am trying to show a section, at least one section done, so that you can see what the drills look like on the actual diamond painting. And I think it's really intriguing to see that. I don't see that very often. I've seen it a few times from other creators, but I think it would be really cool. You know, I hope that's helpful. I would find it helpful if I saw more of that. But that's just me. I don't know. It's just one of those things. I like to show at least one section done of a diamond painting when I show the unboxing. But I don't know. That just popped in my mind randomly. I just wanted to touch on that in regards to that video. Let's see. So yeah, in the way of content, that's what will be coming up. And like I said, whether or not or what day that video, I'm trying to figure out. I'm not sure what day that will be up, but it'll be after Wednesday for sure. And then what's going on in my life in the upcoming week? So Sydney has her 17th birthday. And then I can't think of anything else. I feel like that's going to be the highlight of my week is that birthday. She wants to go to Olive Garden. Her dad is taking her. Oh, I just found a drill over here. It's not in the screen, so you can't see it, but I just found a drill with an extra tab and it's kind of ruining my alignment in this one particular row. So I'm going to toss that. So her dad's taking her to a Japanese kind of hibachi type restaurant, and she wants with me and my half of the family. Oh my gosh, if I get my thoughts straight. She wants to go to Olive Garden. So that'll be nice because I love Italian food. Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite food groups. Love it. Or food groups, food types. Oh my gosh. The brain is not in full power mode tonight. Anyway, well, I think I'm going to end here because it's been a little bit over an hour. I was really hoping to get this section completed, but isn't this cute? I just think this diamond painting is coming along so well. It's such a cute little scene. I love this cat with the dogs and the board game. I just think it's so cute. It's such a little cozy type piece of art. I love it. Anyway, please let me know in the comments what you're working on, and I would love to hear from you. Also, let me know about your thoughts about the membership tier program and what you think about my mid-month WIP parades and month in reviews. I'd love to get some feedback from you about that. Thank you for joining me. Please take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.